Welcome to Mommy Making Millions, the podcast. I'm your hostess, Marquitta DaShae, mompreneur mentor, author, and visionary strategist. I help mompreneurs develop balance between their businesses and their babies while attaining generational wealth, simply taking their ideas and helping them to turn it into profitable income. Join me bi-weekly as I put the spotlight on other successful millionaire mompreneurs for them to also share their best business practices and truly unveil what it looks like from the glamorous life to the deep, dark, nitty-gritty life of a mompreneur. Ooh, it's been a little minute, y'all, since I did a solo episode. Oh gosh, your girl has really been doing a whole lot, okay? First, I've been being a mom. Y'all know how that goes. Then I have been getting ready for the Mommy Making Millions Pearls and Prosperity brunch. We're going to talk about that in a whole nother episode. And finally, also, I'm still running a ship training and also building a profitable business, but I am still here. Shout out to y'all that have been listening to the Mommy Making Millions podcast. Guess what? We have reached over 1,000 downloads. Y'all, that's crazy. Okay, first of all, that is crazy. And to think, little old me started this podcast with a $20 microphone and a bunch of tears. I am back. But you know what? I wanted to make sure that I was keeping it real on this podcast. I love having our guests come on, but if I could be all the way real, I like just being me, and I like just jumping on here, coming to y'all live and raw, real and raw, right? And I want to just talk about a few things, if I could. Can I talk about a few things, y'all? I want because I know that some of y'all be relating, how I be relating, and so I just wanted to make sure that we relatable in this moment, because I want us to make sure that we are learning the lesson of just truly who we are and understanding and identifying what it really truly means to just be a puzzle piece trying to fit in puzzles that we don't belong to. Okay, that's the best way I can see it. Y'all, this ain't the season for us to really focus on who likes us, who don't like us. This is not the season for us to focus on the drama, the chaos. Listen, the distractions are there to do just that. I felt like it was important for me to come on and talk to y'all real and raw about this episode because I've realized that as we are growing, developing, and transitioning, people be testing our gangsters. Like, we know we saved over here, but at the same time, try Jesus, not me, because I still throw hands. The Lord is not done with me. I know I got $1 Million Prayer Life like 2 episodes ago, but God is just not done with me. But I want to just be honest with you and talk from a perspective of just the growth that it takes to ignore and block out the bullshit. Okay, I know that's so hard, especially when you're building a platform and you're building a brand and you're building a business, but you have all of this crazy chaos and residue that be going on the back of the scene, and you really wish you could cuss somebody out on social media, or you wish you could go back to that girl that used to throw them hands for real though. But you just have grown, and people be really testing your gangsters sometimes. And so I'm here to let you know, Mommy Millionaire, you are not alone, okay? Sometimes them kids be testing your gangster in ways you can only ever imagine. And so I want to talk about that today. I want to talk about how to just chill, because we got more to lose than they do. Like, breathe in, breathe out. We're going to let the Lord have that one. Revenge is mine, says the Lord. And sometimes that takes a lot of growth and development, because let me tell y'all, if y'all anything like me, which I know y'all, I ain't got 1,000 downloads, over 1,000 downloads, if y'all ain't been a little bit about me. So it must be something, very much something that y'all like hearing in this podcast that keep drawing y'all back. Okay. And I'm thinking it's these podcast episodes which are actually, I get the highest analytics are on the ones where it's just me talking. Okay. I think that you guys just like hearing me rant at this point, but let's talk about it. You know how much it takes for you to be still and just know? Do you know how much growth that is for you to really just take a deep breath and not go from 0 to 100 real quick on people? That is real growth. And I want to tell you that sometimes you have to learn and understand that protecting your peace is like the best thing that you can do in seasons and in situations that are truly trying to bring you to a low point. Like, like you've been in a season where people just keep trying you. Like, you going left, they trying you. You going right, they trying you. You going up the middle, they trying you. You trying to go through the back door, they trying you. Like, y'all just, so we just in a season where people just want to try us, right? Am I the only one? Like, I just feel like I'm just in a season where people just be want to just try me. But that's how the enemy works, y'all. When you got things going on for yourselves, like, don't think that this walk called life or this walk called our purpose is going to come to you easy. Don't think that this journey that you're on is just meant to be cute. But it is in the moments that you realize how important that it really is for you to protect your peace. And sometimes separating yourself from the people that you really love the most, or people that you thought loved you, or people that, even people you grew up with, okay? People that um you once thought you had your best interest. Like, learning to separate yourself so that you can protect your peace is one of the highest forms of self care that you could possibly ever adapt to owning. And sometimes people don't have to understand it, but they will respect it. Sometimes you really just don't have to go off on somebody for them to understand that my silence is going to speak louder than words. Like, you're going to feel this silence right now, because as much as I want to go to toe with you, you're going to feel my presence being missed in your life. And so I wanted to tell y'all that protecting your peace in the season where you're feeling like, people don't always have to believe you. They don't always have to get your viewpoint. They don't always have to hear your side of the story. When you're done, people are doing you wrong. Um, you know, it's hard to say let them. Nobody gets away with it, but it takes a very big person to take a deep breath and allow the nonsense to move around, because the enemy likes to do anything that he can to kill, steal, and destroy and block the blessings. And so, if he can keep you distracted, he can keep you unproductive in areas where you should be highly focused on. And I ain't gonna lie to y'all, like me having this branch, and if you're missing the branch, by the way, y'all missing out, okay? It's been so much hell that has tried to break loose against me, so many different attacks because of just the anointing and the calling that has been over my life. And I understand the attacks at this point because I understand my purpose and my walk and my calling. But this is a big step, because sometimes people just be trying you, and then you have your worldly your flesh that be fighting up against your spirit, man. Y'all, this is a real fight. Because the old Marquita would have cussed you out, but I can't do that. You can't do that, Mommy Millionaire. Why? Because you have so much more to lose. You have so much more that is of value. And if you are paying attention to the people that are trying to bring you down, nobody that really cares about you, nobody that's really understanding the vision and the calling and the legacy that's on your life, these aren't the people that's trying to bring you down. These are people that are trying to build you up. And so if you're focusing on people that you don't fit in with quite naturally, and you're sitting there trying to feel like you want to feel away because people don't accept you, or you want to feel away because people are doing things that's going to try you and tempt you and provoke you in the season, these are things that we should expect from people. Like, it's just really real out here. People just really try you sometimes. But just know, God sees all. And I think the biggest growth that I've had in this season is to have empathy, compassion, and have a heart of forgiveness for people that I really felt like did not deserve it. And I know this is the Mommy Making Millions podcast. We like to talk about all things motherhood, mindset, and business. But I'm talking about things that are, I believe, really important to our mental health. Like, sometimes it feels really screwed up when you don't feel like you belong. Like, it feels really screwed up when you feel like you trust people that don't pour back into you the way you pour into them. It feels really screwed up when you want to share your platform with people and people only want to use you. It feels really screwed up when you're the one that feels like you're always giving and you're always getting the short end of the stick. But guess what? Your blessings don't come from other people. Your blessings come from the Most High. Your blessings don't even come from the people that are here. And so, if we're looking for acceptance, if we're looking for favors, if we're looking for returns on areas where we've been a complete blessing to people, that's not really how we get our blessings. We give when we can give not grudgingly. We give when we can give with worrying about, am I going to get something back for this? We give when we are giving with a cheerful heart. And sometimes you got to give people grace even when they don't deserve it because it is for your peace, your sanity. That's what I really want y'all to know. Just really giving people grace and peace for the protection of you. And I think that that's one of the biggest lessons that I've learned right now in life, especially walking this walk of entrepreneurship, walking this walk of not seeing many people do it before me, being bold in who I am. People don't like your confidence. People don't like your boldness. People don't like the authentic version of you. And listen, I'm a Sagittarius, okay? Hashtag team Sag. So I just feel like we are one of the best zodiac signs. But at the same time, I feel like I'm such a lovable person and I try to give people my last that it hurts when I don't get or feel like the love is being reciprocated. And so I'm here to tell you that you may never receive on the level of how you're expecting other people to give, especially if you're wanting the return to come from that person. You don't know where your blessings are going to come from. You don't know how God is going to intend to use you in this season. So you just have to just kind of stay focused. You have to stay focused on who you are called to be and your goals and your dreams and your aspirations and just like y'all, we just got too much to live for, and being bitter and feeling like we need to go blast people on social media. Now listen, I done told y'all what the old Marquitta would do. I would blast people so quick, fast, and in a hurry on social media. But when I talk about the platform, I'm not talking about just setting the stage for myself. I'm talking about setting the stage for other moms and the brand that I'm aligned to. My goal is Forbes. My goal is Business Insider. My goal is Forbes Women. My goal is Fortune. My goal is just so many different stages that I have yet to walk on. And how do we look arguing with people that just really, I'm not going to say they're beneath us, but I'm going to say people who don't have the same values as you. So when you're arguing with people that have nothing to lose, they have nothing to lose, but it can cost you everything. It can cost you the years of the thousands of years, the multitude of years that it's taking you to get where you are today. It can cost you a client. It costs you so much more to be reactive to someone or to situations that honestly, we just need to understand how to give certain situations grace because of the attacks based on the anointings that we have. You got way too much more at stake than to be arguing or focusing on stuff that really doesn't concern you. And I think that this message was important because of the ability to be distracted. And I talk about me having my brunch because I came against so many different attacks that I just was like, wow, these are just, it's like everybody. Even myself. I was mad at myself in a lot of areas. But I want you to know that you can be mad at yourself in a lot of areas, but that doesn't mean that you're truly the person that you should be mad at. I don't think it's about being mad. I think it's about understanding really who you're called to be and understanding the attacks based on the anointing that you have over your life, the mindset, the mind games. The enemy will use anything. It doesn't even have to be a person, although most of the time it is a person. You know how many stages I wanted to sit on? You know how many people I wish saw me? You know how many things I wish that I was a part of? And I sat there and I envied. Sometimes the big bad wolf is ourselves. We're in a season of our lives where we have to really be careful of the different attacks that are on us, but have discernment, not just for other people, but for also for ourselves. I think it's important to focus on this because I see so much on social media, especially down my feed lately. And I'm noticing that a lot of entrepreneurs are just kind of, they've adapted to have like a lifestyle brand in business type of, how do I want to say this, business model. It's the best way to say it. So I think people are just being way more honest in these days and times. Oh my gosh, that made me sound so old. But I do think people are adapting to a more authentic business model, a more authentic lifestyle business model, where entrepreneurs are more comfortable and confident than ever, honestly sharing some of the hurdles and some of the struggles that we deal with silently as CEOs. And this is why I really just felt like this was a good conversation to have. I think sometimes we feel like we want to have the friends in the community and just people in our corner, but it's about the people that we have to let go, that we love, based on us protecting our peace. Did you know that you may have to let some people go? No matter how much you love them. Like, I gotta love you from a distance because I love me a little bit more. And with me loving me, I've determined and identified that this is a trigger for me. I have been so big on triggers lately, so much so to whereas I have been telling my husband, like my husband and I, when we get into an argument now, I'm being real with y'all, okay? Don't act like y'all I'm the only married folk that be arguing with my husband. I will try to go toe to toe with that man if I can. I'm just being real, okay? But I'm gonna be honest. So like my husband and I have been talking lately, and when we go through our disagreements or arguments, or whatever y'all want to call them, I notice now that because I've identified things that trigger me as a mom, as a woman, as a business CEO, I've identified things that trigger me. So I'm going to ask you, like, what are your triggers? Do you know your triggers? And I've learned to be honest about the things that trigger me because I've noticed that the things that trigger me, once I have identified the things that have begun to trigger me or have had triggered me previously, then I was able to grab a hold of that emotion, that feeling. I was able to then cope and find alternative ways to deal with how I was feeling instead of just having this suppressed anger or emotion or buildup and not know where it was coming from and or not even knowing what to even do with it. So I'm talking to my husband, and we're in like a deep conversation. Like, okay, y'all want to have a real conversation with my husband? I'm gonna bring him on here one day because y'all just gotta hear our stuff. We have like really good conversations because I think that we've been through a lot, and I think that a lot of people can relate to us. And I think that the authentic realness that my husband displays, like y'all, my husband hates everything about social media and putting your business out there, and just he just ain't the one or the two, to be honest. So he looks at things a little bit differently, and then he's not an entrepreneur, so he definitely looks at things totally different. So I think sometimes, I'll be honest, I feel like I'm living in a fairy tale world where my husband, he's very logical. Me, I'm logical, and my belief system is a little bit different because I feel like God gave me this vision. We finna run it up. And I don't mean just money, I mean just in every possible area where I can just be prosperous and produce wealth, wealth mindset, just wealth lifestyle. I just feel like that's the life. Like I know I've always wanted to escape the previous life that I was birthed into. That check to check was not it. Okay. So I've been talking to my husband. We talk and we just have situations that we go through. And not only have I been noticing the things that I've been triggered by, I also have been noticing the things that have been triggering him. Now, these are things that I could have said to him that have triggered him, or things that he said to me that could have triggered me. The point is I've noticed that I've identified what those triggers are. And when you identify what those triggers are, you can then learn how to, I want to see how, the best way to put this. When you identify your triggers, you can then begin to detach fear from what's been holding you back in a lot of different areas. And so my tolerance for what I accept, my tolerance for just how I handle things, and my tolerance for the way that I perceive another person's behavior, I have a different appetite for it, in the sense of I'm more patient, I'm more understanding, I'm more aware. And when you're tapping into just being more aware of letting people go based on those triggers, or letting situations go based on those triggers, you'll learn how to not only protect your peace, but you'll learn how to set boundaries in a way to, whereas, number one, people don't know how to try you. Number two, you're guarded from the suppressed emotion or anger, and it keeps you focused. Like, this is a season we really do need to have tunnel vision. And if we just care, or if we're just triggered by any little thing, then we're out of alignment, or we're out of focus with who we're called to be. And the thing about it is if you're out of alignment and your vision is out of focus, you're not fulfilling your potential and your purpose. And I don't want us to go another day feeling like we need to fit in. I don't want us to go another day feeling like we can't be our authentic self. I don't want us to go another day feeling like we can't be who we are called to be just because people have wronged us. And because the truth is, people are going to wrong us. And they're going to get away with a lot of things, but at the end of the day, they're not. It's going to seem like they're getting away. But you have so much peace, so much joy, and just understanding who you are. I want you to know that entrepreneurship isn't for the weak, but the walk alone sometimes is scary. But that's why we have communities like Mommy Making Millions. Because although you might have to leave some people where they are, it's a whole bunch of other people along the way towards greatness and towards success, and other people that have more of a positive outlook on life that's really waiting for you to show up. And so sometimes you're in a season where you do have to let people go. I don't care if they're blood. I don't care if they're friends. I don't care if they've been working for you for 20-something years. It's about protecting your peace. It is. So I wanted to come on here and have this real life conversation with y'all. My rant. $1 million rants. Because your silence is golden. And listen, people will miss your presence. You know, people will miss your presence. If they can't respect you in your presence, make them respect you and miss you in your absence. Don't settle. Don't feel like you have to fit in. You're not that same girl anymore. You're not that same little girl who felt like she needed to fit in anymore. You're damned if you do, you're damned if you don't. So why bother? Why allow yourself to feel triggered? Like, y'all, I'm talking about I will be 0 to 1,000 real quick. But why? All of that flexing for the gram ain't paying me. All of that getting hyped up in your feelings or in your emotions, it's not paying you. All of those distractions, it's not paying you. All of the situations that you're having to deal with, it's not paying you. So why are we giving our energy to the things that are not revenue generating activities or producing fruit in our lives? The only thing that we should be focused on in this season is our children's well-being, our spouses, our careers, our businesses, our livelihoods, our visions, not the bullshit, not that stuff. Not that stuff, y'all. And you know what? I've learned that when I really get off guard and off focus, that, and sounds so cliche, but prayer really does work. Because I'd be like 2.3 seconds from snapping on somebody, and I'd just be like, you know what? Let me just retarget my mind so that I can think differently. Because I need to feel that I'm not distracted. And all it takes is for a second for you to put out, post, do something crazy that's out of character, and boom, you done missed the $10,000 contract. Boom, you done missed the speaking engagement. Boom, you done missed the customer. Why? Based on your lack of professionalism. It ain't worth it. It ain't worth it. Somebody comment, it ain't worth it. I just really want to know, is anybody else out there feeling how I'm feeling? Because, and then it's not even that. Listen, we got kids. I want to tell y'all, like, I just love y'all on this podcast. I never forget the time I went to jail. And when I sat there in that jail cell, I met so many different women. Like, y'all, I'll never forget this. And I want to share this with y'all because this is a part of my life that I never really get to talk about. But when I was in jail, I was only there like 2 days. But shoot, it was a long 2 days, maybe 3. People just kept telling me like I didn't fit in. People kept telling me that I was a good person. People kept telling me that they hoped everything worked out for me. These people I didn't know. These people who were perceived to be criminals. These people, man, those people. Do you know I could have been looking at 5 to 25 years and 5 to 25 years in jail? I would have still been in jail to this day, y'all. I would have had at least another 10 years left. That's real. Off of not having self-control. Off of allowing my emotions to get the best of me. Off of coming out of my comfort zone or stepping out of character or focused on the wrong things. It only takes a second for you to mess up your entire life. This is why they have TV shows like Snapped. Because it only takes a second for you to lose it all. Remember, it cost them nothing. It cost you everything. I don't want us to feel like we don't have outlets, that we can't have real conversations like this. But I also want you to understand that sometimes we can have these conversations in the right setting. And it's about identifying when and where Everything is not for social media. Everything is not for everybody. You are not for everybody. And so I just wanted to put that out there, you know. I know usually if I've gone through something, you guys usually do too. And keep persevering through it all. Keep making the enemy mad every step of the way. But don't allow him to get the glory by you fighting with people that, guess what, don't have as much to lose as you. Okay? I ain't got nothing else for y'all. I just wanted to come on here and give it to y'all how I was feeling. No, um, no shade to anybody in particular. It's just things that have been on my mind from a real life mommy making millions.